Okay, so today we start our livestock. This morning I'll be talking about piggery. Then in the afternoon I'll be talking about chicken. Then after the chicken I'll be teaching you the formulation, feed formulation. Okay? Now, when we talk about pork or piggery farm, what goes to your mind?
Ang
Yeah.
amoy. Ang amoy.
Yes, the smell.
The smell.
What else?
Water is a lot of water.
Big volume of water needed because the piggery had to bath every day, 3 times a day, and you have to clean their feces three times a day. But still, it's very smelly. What else?
The raw materials.
The feed
Formulated, sir. The feeds itself.
The fish, very expensive. What else?
The housing.
The housing, very expensive.
The variety of your pigs you want.
The area where to put up the piggery project because it's smelly.
Yeah. What else?
The drugs and biologics.
The drugs, the antibiotic. What else?
The human resource to manage that
Yeah, labor use.
laborious.
Kasi 3 times a day, you bath them, you clean them. What else? Oh, contribute. Oh, meron pa.
The indigenous materials or other materials, improvised materials to put up the building.
Yeah,
Put up the building.
yeah. What else? Oh, salmon by the barangay captain
Someone
because the neighborhood complained.
complain.
Many flies.
Oh.
Okay? Very expensive. Okay? Now, I will share to you the piggery that we're teaching. You don't need to bat the pigs. No batting. So, walang ligo. No cleaning of the feces. Walang limpyo sa kaniyang dumi. Naalang diya sa bedding. Okay? And no smell. In conventional, keep on bathing, keep on cleaning, but still it's foul smell.
What's butting?
Odorous.
In natural farming, no bathing,
What's butting?
no cleaning, no smell.
What does butting mean?
Take a bath.
Bathing
Oh, bathing. Oh.
the pigs.
Oh, okay.
You have to clean the pigs
Uh,
because they always, because of their body heat, you have to reduce their body heat. Secondly, because they lie down on their feces, so the whole body is covered with feces. So you bath them to reduce the body heat and to take out the feces that are in their body.
mm.
Okay? But still very smell. Here in natural farming, no bathing, no cleaning, no smell. So when there is no bathing, no cleaning, less water, less labor. Only you give them feeds, that's all. And you'll be so amazed when I teach you that I have done 1 feeding a day only.
One feeding a day.
Isang beses lang kumakain ang baboy sa isang araw.
Sa amin, sir, 5 eh. Parang tao.
See? I experience 1 feeding a day.
there are many,
Yes, sir.
yung mga
Di siya
green.
it doesn't affect the nutrients of the pig. Or
I
the
will
growth.
teach you everything so that you'll know. You'll know why.
Yung hagpuan man, kanang mga support niya, mga isnak-isnak kaya ng mga kangkong, cleaning, you apply
Okay.
cleaning.
So
cleaning,
guys,
vegetative.
that's why conventional farming, they just teach you a lot of things, but these are all rubbish. These are not true. They teach you that because there's something that they want to sell to you. That's why they teach you the program. But actually, it doesn't need that. So in the school, you learn all these things. What conventional farming are teaching you. Because the manufacturer teach you, give the analysis, the research to the college, so the college teach you those research and analysis. But these are all done because the company has something to sell to you, not because it's the right way to do it. Clear? Now, in natural farming, we teach you the nature, even the characteristic of the animals that you want to rear. And we follow that characteristic. We follow the nature of that animals that you rear. Hindi yun, not the knowledge of man, but the way that animal life, what do you call this? How they live, how they eat. This is how we teach you. Not I want you to do this. I want you to eat this. No. It's about what is your life? What kind of life do you want? What is your character? What do you eat? That's how we and apply what we want. Not applying what we want for him. Clear? Yun ang kaibahan. Ang conventional, itong gusto ko, gayahin mo. Ang natural farming, ano gusto mo, itong bibigay ko. See? That's the difference. Now, in natural farming, housing is very crucial. Even though they don't need the house. Because in the wild, they don't have house. Now, if we give them the house, it should have the same characteristic as they are in the wild. How they live, how they function. It should be like this. Okay? Clear? So when you give them the house, it should have the same feature as they are living in the wild. What you do, you just domesticate it in a small space. Not very small. The space should be in the sense that they can move around. They can play around. That's your characteristic. Okay. So, housing creates an important purpose for the livestock that you want to let them to live in the house. Okay. Then, if that's what you want to do with them, because I can teach you also ranging. Let them range. Let them take care of themselves in a big space, open space. They can.
Yes, raise chicken.
Yeah. But if you give them the house should have the same principle outside. Okay, the house is very crucial. If the house you build is not suitable for them, eventually they will get sick. So the house is crucial for them to live a healthy life. If you make mistakes on the house, then you will see a lot of sickness will just come to them. Claro? Now, okay. Most of the time that you see the house that are built by the piggery, for the pigs, is the roofing is somewhat like this. Tama ba? Ang atop, kadalasan anin. Okay? There's a law of nature that you need to understand. Now, what do you mean by law of nature? This is a law in the nature and you cannot change it. Am I right? Hindi mo pwedeng palitan ang balaod sa kalikasan. Kada balaod, permanente na. No? Hindi pwede isupa. Hindi mo masupa. Kasi balaod din sa kalikasan. The law says, the law of nature says, hot air goes up. The law of nature says, hot air goes up. It means hot air will not stay on the ground. It will go up. Automatically, it will go up. Clear? Clear?
Yes.
So, when the hot air goes up, if this is your roofing, if this is the house that you built for your pigs, so when the hot air goes up, it cannot go out. So hot air will stay there. Then hot air goes up again, stays there, stays there, stays there, stays there. Then after a while, the whole house becomes hot. If you build a bungalow, and that is the roof, and only small window, what happened in the noon time?
Very hot.
So it will be like sauna bath. So if the whole room is very hot and you're staying there, what happened to you? Like Hamud, he perspired a lot. He need towels. He perspired a lot. So you perspire a lot, right? And you become very weak, right? Hihina ang lawas nimo, di ba? And when you become weak, your immune system drop. Mo baksak ang immune system niyo. So when your immune system drop, what happens? When you are attacked by diseases, you can easily be penetrated. And when you are penetrated, then you get sick easily. So this is what is going to happen. Because the housing that you gave to the pigs is very hot. So they can easily get sick. Now, so if that's the rule, that's the law, what are you going to do? You need to let the hot air goes out. They cannot stay in your structure, in your house. So how do you let the hot air goes out? By splitting. splitting the roof. Split tight. Split. Now, by the way, the housing is not only for the pigs, but also for the chicken. The same principle. It's not only for the pigs, it's also for the chicken. Okay? Now, so the roofing should be split. So that when the hot air goes up, it goes out.
Hindi sa ganahan namin ang baboy.
Hindi, kailangan pa rin kasi ano siya. Kailangan niya yung manok.
Manok ang sa kanya at kambing.
So it should go out. So when every time hot air went up, and it goes up, hot air went up, and it goes out, what happened?
Proper ventilation
Cool airs come
inside.
clear. Cool air comes in. Nakita mo yung split? Nakita niyo?
Yes.
If that split is not available, this hallway will be more hot in the noontime. And we have the insulator, so it's not too hot. It's hot, but it's not too hot. But without that split, the more it becomes hot. It's good that the there's no wall, there's no fence, so the air goes in and out. Now, you clear on this area? So here to split the roof so that the hot air will go out. When the hot air keep on going out, it will pull the cool air from outside coming in. So, importante yan. So, when the cool air come in, those living inside the house, they don't have problems. They can eat, they drink, and they become healthy. Klaro ba? So, this is the roofing requirements of the piggery. Should be split tight. Okay? So, some company, they do this way. Nakita mo yung ganyan na roofing? Nakita niyo? This kind of a roofing structure? Yeah. This is not very effective. And it's so expensive. Because you have to add more structure. And it's not so effective. Because hot air goes up, not goes sideways. So, kung puno na ito, then that's the time hot air can go sideways, right? But not so fast. So hot air keep on going up, and eventually, the whole house becomes hot also. Okay? So, it is so cheap when you do this compared to do this. And this is more effective than this one. Clear? This is more cheaper than this one. And this is less effective, this is more effective. Others, they do like this. They buy this structure, ventilator. It's still not effective. See? And it's expensive. When this is so cheap, you just do this, it's so cheap. Compared to this and this. and so effective. So remember my family name?
Less is more.
Less is more.
So, sorry, I was not there. Why is that the one top is not less effective than the other one?
Because hot airs do not go sideways.
Ah,
It will go sideways when it is accumulated already,
ah,
forced to go sideways. So less hot airs goes out. So hot airs will keep on going up. So eventually, in due time, the whole house becomes hot also. And this will be more expensive because you have to add more trusses and everything. While this one, just do this is more effective and cheaper. You understood?
yes.
So why go to the expensive one and less effective when you can do the cheap one more effective? Sense, right? Common sense. Now, see? Wala yun ano ah. Nawala yung Korean.
Ay,
Yeah. Look. Now, this is the one in Korean. So, they seal this one. They seal the end of that one. And the side, they have curtains. Why? Because in Korea, it's 4 seasons. So, whole year round, very cold. Malamig. So, they have to seal the whole house night time. So, the cortina will go down during night to seal the whole house from the coolness of the temperature of the night. Too cold, then you will have hot and cold. So, during night time, the whole house is sealed off. Clear? Like this one. Sorry. Yeah. See? During night time, all the housing seal off. So that cool air will not come in. Yeah. Okay? Klaro ba? Now, any question about the split housing? Any question? Okay. The split, minimum 1 foot, maximum 1.5. The split, minimum 1 foot, maximum 1.5 feet.
What is that?
The split.
Oh, okay. The size. Okay. This feet.
1 foot,
Uh-huh.
minimum,
Uh-huh.
1.5 feet,
Maximum.
maximum. When your split is 1 foot, this extension, the extension should be 1 foot also. If it's 1.5, the extension should be 1.5 also. The overlap group. So that rain will not come in. so that rain will not come. Clear? Okay. Now, the bedding is not cemented. So we can see in the Philippines, the piggery house, the beddings is always cemented. No, the conventional farming teaches us to cement the flooring so that they will not, they will not be with the soil, because the soil had many soil-borne bacteria. That's what they said. Right? Right? But remember, pigs live in the soil. They don't live in a cemented area. Cemented housing, flooring, is not suitable for pigs. Why? Because the foot of the pigs is hoof. It's called hoof. It's sharp. It's not flat like our feet that we are flat. So they cannot walk on cemented flooring. Understood? It's like ladies wearing 6 inches heels, walking in a mall all day. When they come home, aching feet. Am I right? Am I right? Oh, the man, you wear 6 feet, and you walk in the mall. Less than 1 hour, you take it out already. Am I right? So that is the feeling of the pigs when you put them in a cemented flooring. Aching body. That's why in conventional farming, the pigs are more radical, are more want to fight because of pain. See? Uneasy. Stress. Ganun sila. Clear? So you don't let them stay in a cemented flooring because they will stress out. When they stress out, then easily the sickness can easily come in. So you let them stay in a soil-based flooring. Later on, we'll discuss the flooring. It should be soil-based. Even in chicken, it should be a soil-based flooring. Okay? Now, so if it's soil-based flooring, then you have a problem. Because the conventional farming said, oh, if it's soil-based, then you have bacteria, viruses, that lives in the soil. Now, how can we control it?
Increasing the good bacteria.
Yes, increasing the good bacteria in the soil. Now, that's one mitigation. That's one way of controlling bad ones. Now, if you have just one security, if that security fails, then you really have problems. Now, you have to have more than one security. What is the other way of controlling bad diseases, bad microorganisms? What is the other way?
Nutrients of the pig.
Healing through the sun.
Introduce love, sir, in your
No, that is already kasama. IMO2, right? Microbes, introducing good bacteria into the soil, right? Now, another way of controlling bad bacteria. What?
Nutrients of the
Sun.
pig, sir.
Sunlight. Sunlight.
Sunlight! You forgot.
Natural.
Sunlight.
Natural. Disinfectant.
Oh, yes.
Sunlight.
Sunlight kills bad bacteria. So you have to let sunlight goes in to the beddings of your house to disinfect, to sterilize, to control bad bacteria. Now, how can you let sunlight come into the beddings?
By designing your house.
By designing the house. Okay, good.
Direction
design?
of the building. Yes.
There's an opening on the roof. There's an opening in the roof. Also like this one. This roof will move. Will move down. See? So there's an opening in the roof. So where is the opening? Here in the lower part of the roof. This is the upper part. This is the lower part. Here in the lower part. This area. So you open this. How big is the opening? Maximum 1.5 meters. Maximum 1.5 meters. We don't like to have more than 1.5. So when there is an opening here, 1.5 meters, so it means there is an orientation already of the building, right? To let the sun come in. So common sense, what should be the orientation?
From east to west.
East, west,
So this will be facing the east. That will be facing the west. That's common sense, right? Clear? Claro ba? Again, this should be facing the east. That should be facing the west. So that when the sun rises up, the sun ray will hit this portion. So, bukas yan. So when the sun rises, the sun ray will hit here. Right? Right?
Yes.
When the earth moves, this sun ray see this sun ray inside the housing? Okay. So when the sun rises up, the sun ray will hit this far end, and when the earth moves, this sun ray will move slowly. As the earth keeps on moving, this sun ray will move. Until noontime, the sun ray hits this part already. Because the sun is there already. In the noontime, right?
Yeah, so it rises from the east, it sets from the west. So by noontime it will be that side.
Yeah, on that part.
Okay.
So that's the last that the sun will hit the bedding. Noontime. Finish. Clear? So if every day you release the sun ray to your beddings, and every day the sun is hitting the beddings, so it will disinfect the beddings, then you will keep the beddings from the attacks of the viral and viruses. Right? Right?
Yes.
That's how you keep the beddings at par from any viruses that will be living there. So you have two security, not only one. The first one is the microorganism, beneficial. You increase it in the bedding. Number two is the sun.
Sir, question. What if the sun, does the sun affect the good beneficial bacteria or?
Listen, that's why you have to increase the beneficial. Because when it is like this, even though it will affect, it will not reduce to this. It will still stay in this category. Because you control this, the sun also controls some of them, but not many of them. Because good ones can withstand more heat compared to the bad ones. Like the IMO5, it reaches 60 to 70 degrees. Who is the one heating it? It is the good ones, good microbes. They are the one who heat up that beddings. See? So they can withstand more heat compared to bad one. Bad one, they are sensitive to heat.
The degrees is in centigrade, right? 60, 70 degrees centigrade.
Yeah. Clear? Any question? So that's how you do it.
Dahil ba, kanay open niya. Anong sa mag-ulan-ulan?
Close. It's open close. Like this one. Hindi mo lang makita dyan, pero it's open close. Yan. Ito. Open close yan. So, when you open, it's like this. You know?
Layo ra.
Nandito mo yan. So, pag open,
Well, it's expensive to do that.
no, this one is expensive because it's machine. But what you can do is just if you open this one, there's a rope going down. So you just pull the rope and the rope will come down. So there's a roller. Just pull it. So when it's rained, there's a pulley that goes this way. You just pull the rope here, it will go up again. So it's just pulley and roller. Clear?
But there's no, on top there, it looks like there's no, birds can go in. On top.
No problem when the bugs goes in.
No, birds and other creatures. The rats, mouse,
No problem because it's an open space.
they will go and eat the feeds.
They eat the pigs?
Feeds.
Please, sir.
Oh, no. The rats will be afraid of the pigs.
Okay.
The pigs are there.
Oh.
The pigs are bigger than the rats.
For the
Except for the snake.
For the chicken, it will be a problem.
Yeah. But again, if you put it in an area where they cannot climb up, no problem. Or you just put a screen on top. No problem. Any question? Any question? So it's open close. Klaro na ba? Now this one is with a machine. So they just press on the machine. The machine will automatically open and close whichever button you push. Okay? Now you can also pull or pull there to open it, pull here to close it. So it can be manual. Klaro na ba? Now, should it be sheen only? No. Even you can put laminated sack. Then pull. Am I right? Pwede man laminated sacks ang lagay mo. O trapal. Tapos may tali lang, nakatali sa dulo ng trapal para pull mo, so mag-open siya. So meron naman tali dito, kung pull mo dito ang tali, mag-close siya. Tapos buhol mo lang dyan, fix na yung roof. So pwedeng mura, pwedeng mahal. Depende sa'yo. You can do the cheap kinds, you can do the expensive kinds of the roof structure. Okay? Okay? Now, there in Korea, you could see that they have to close everything during the night because of the coolness. In the Philippines and Africa, should you do that?
No.
Should you do that? No, because we are very hot. We need the air ventilation to go in and out. Even nighttime here is not very cool. Am I right? So we don't need to do what they are doing. Clear? Because it will be additional expenses.
In Africa, sir, how many seasons? There are 4 seasons.
No, 2 seasons. Wet and dry season, right? In Africa.
In
Same as
Africa?
us.
Not all of Africa, it depends which Africa.
Yeah, which part? Because Africa is so huge, a continent. So in the northern part of Africa is also cold. In the southern part is like us. Clear? Okay. So it's open space. Okay? Now if it's open space, then you have to grill it, right? So if it's open space, so if you want to do the caging, you cannot do cement, hollow blocks wall. You cannot do hollow blocks wall. Why? Because we want air to hit the beddings. Gusto natin ang hangin mo tama sa yuta. Why? Why should the air hit the beddings?
Kill the air.
No, not microbes.
Ventilation.
Yes, ventilation plus what? Oh,
To reduce the
if you wash your clothes at night and you want to wear it in the morning, where do you put it so that it becomes dry?
outside.
Outside.
Electric fan.
Yeah, that is electric fan. Tawin ato.
Am I right?
Yes.
When you put it in electric fan, the air easily dries up the wet. Am I right? So, the bedding should be kept dry. Why? Why?
So that it will be included by the bad microorganisms, sir.
Because moisture increases the productivity of the non-beneficial microbes. Right? Because moisture increases the productivity. Ibig sabihin, kung basa kayo, bilis mo daghan ang masasamang mikrobyo. So we don't like that to happen. So we want the beddings to be kept dry. Clear? Clear? So the air that goes in and out of the beddings will easily dry the bedding. No, hindi magpapabasa sa bedding. Klaro ba? Okay. Now, so that's why the walling, the divisions of your livestock should be grill tight, not hollow blocks, cement type. Because in hollow blocks, air will not hit the ground, and also ventilation will be affected with your livestock. Clear? Clear?
Clear.
Good. Especially when you are rearing pigs. Pigs urinate a lot of urinate. So if it's too much urination, what happens? It will totally wet the bedding. So you need air to dry it up. Look at the pigs. Plenty, but the beddings, look at the beddings. Is it wet? No, it's dry. Clear? Okay. Now, so it should be grill type. The grill can be horizontal, can be vertical. But it is much cheaper when it is horizontal compared to vertical. Am I right? Mas mura, lean. Less is more. Mas mura ang horizontal kaysa pining vertical. Tama ba? So it's cheaper that way.
Pero kung sa kawayan siya, sa mga...
It can be kawayan also, can be vertical also.
Dali man
But can be horizontal.
Dali man na maguba sa baboy. Kaysa wala.
No.
I-grill sila lang kay baboy.
Minaw. In the natural farming, pigs will not destroy the wall. They are not stressed out. If you stress a pig, then they will destroy. But if the pig is not stressed, hindi sila palaway, hindi sila magugulo, hindi sila guguba, kung hindi sila stressed. If they are not stressed out, then they will not destroy. Okay? So it's better horizontal than vertical.
Pero for the farmers, sir, that kind of building is expensive to them.
So you can do the bamboo.
And using the indigenous materials.
Yes. You can do bamboo type, you can do like those one. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Pwedeng indigenous materials. Okay? Now, saan mali dito? Saan mali dito? What's wrong with this? What is the wrong? Yes. The cement is too high. So cement should be up to here only. So that this will be here. What else? What else?
Yung bamboo na yun,
The
sir,
bamboo is
mas
too close.
Mas closer
Air
yan.
cannot come in. Small amount of air comes in, not big amount. So it should not be this close. Clear? So that you'll know how to build. So it can be indigenous, it can be permanent structure, depending on your budget. Okay?
Forma sa kananan sa
Ah?
sa baboy.
Now, the feeder of the pigs can be cemented if you want to, can be
Or maybe
just
made of wood. Kung
whichever.
baboy.
It's up to you. Now, if you do cementing, it should be like this. No? Not like this. Because when the feeds are there, they cannot eat it anymore because of their mouth. So the feeds are here, so they cannot eat already. So it should be rounded so that the feeds are here, they can easily finish the food. Clear? Any question? The feeder and the drinker should be opposite. Should not be on the feeder. The drinker should not be on the feeder.
Dito sa sir, sa Bagay, pag-pressing. Ang style lang dito, ginagmerahin ng mga baboy. Sa
Yeah.
bakuran lang.
Yes.
Ang amo dito is kawayan ng salog, kawayan ng manong. Soda sa ilalo. Niya, ang bukatok, sabay, sa may pikto,
Bakit ang salog na pa bamboo?
kawayan.
Oh, bakit?
Ang iyang hugaw, mahulog lang ito sa kuwan.
Hindi na kinanglan. Ang salog hindi na kinanglan na pa'y kawayan. Unya, mag-discuss tayo sa salog unya. Ha? Wapa tayo sa salog. Okay. Now, so let's discuss right now the flooring. I forgot. In the piggery, most of the time in the Philippines, we do it this way. Wala na ink. Right? We do it this way. This is the walkway. Then both sides is the piggery house where they stay. Right? Now, I will suggest that this is east, this is west. Okay? I will suggest that the walkway, you put it here, on the west side. Okay? So, no more walkway in the middle. And you just do it this way. Much cheaper because you save on the two lines. Am I right? You save on these two lines. Now this is for fattening. Now if it's for production, for sow, for where you want to have offspring, then you can do it in the middle, then both sides. Now house 1, house 2 for the sow. That's okay. But if it's for fattening, take out the middle, put that walkway here, then you save on the two lines. So it will be cheaper, the housing will be cheaper. Clear? Any question? Okay. Now let's go to the bedding. As I said, our beddings is not cemented. Our beddings is soil. Now, what kind of soil? It's a mixture. It's a mixture. What is the mixture? Write it down. It's a ratio of 10 sacks of sawdust, 5 sacks of soil, 1 kilo salt. It's a mixture of 10 sacks of sawdust, 5 sacks of soil, 1 kilo salt, with IMO2 dilution. Okay, before I go to that,
1 kilo salt.
yes,
And to, my motto, sir, is
IMO2 dilution, we'll go to that. Okay, now, what do you do with the beddings? Beddings of pigs? You take out 1 meter deep of the soil. This is for the pigs, huh? you take out 1 meter deep of the soil, of the beddings. Kunya, this is the whole beddings of the pigs. So you take out all the 1 meter deep of soil. Take it out. So it will be like this.
Yung kalot ka. 1 meter.
Yan, 1 meter deep. Yan. Italot. Here. Like this one.
1 meter
Yeah.
deep.
Yan, 1 meter deep. Okay? Clear? Then, this 1 meter deep that you take out, you replace it. The 1 meter deep, you have to replace it. What are you going to replace it? With that ratio.
Katong 10 sacks of
So
That's the ratio. 10 sacks of sawdust, 5 sacks of soil, 1 kilo salt. With dilution of IMO2. What do you mean by dilution of IMO2? Okay, what you do is this. You prepare a drum, the 200 liter drum. Okay, you fill it up with water and you put half liter of IMO2
Pila ka liter ang dami, sir?
in 200 liters drum.
1 liter of ayong to.
Yeah.
Half liter
Half liter.
In 200 liters.
in 200 liters. 1 is to 200. 1 is to 500, sorry.
500 liters.
Huh?
eh,
The drum is 200 liters. Okay? Water. Then you add half liter
kung kayo mo to.
of IMO2. Now, the IMO2 have 20% labs. All IMO2 that we use had 20% labs. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
All IMO2 that are being used in the program have 20% labs. Okay?
Kinahanglan yung himo different labs.
Okay. So the water, while you are mixing 10-5-1, while you are mixing the 10 sacks of sawdust, 5 sacks of soil, 1 kilo of salt, somebody will pour the water. Now, when the sawdust had moisture already, then that's it. Do not add more water. You don't need to over-wet the beddings.
Mag-moist lang, mag-moist, sir.
Mag-moist lang yung sawdust, that's it. So you mix, put it aside, mix again, put it aside, mix again until such a time the whole beddings is mixed with the ratio of 10-5-1. Binalik mo yung 1 meter deep with this mixture.
Salt has to be sea salt, right?
Sea salt. Clear?
Pag walang, pwede ba yung, ano sir, yung rice salt?
Ah,
Pang,
Moato tayo diya. Wala pa tayo diya. Okay? Clear? So let's discuss right now the 10-5-1. So the 1 kilo is the salt. So you don't need to know what kind of salt you need to buy. Now if you do the seawater, for 1 kilo it should be around 6 liters of seawater. So you can mix it on the drum already. You don't need
So
to...
1 kilo salt is equivalent to 6 liters of seawater.
Okay.
Now what is the purpose of the salt?
Microorganisms?
Source as minerals.
Yes.
Serve as minerals.
Yes, but it's just 1 kilo.
1 kilo naman.
What is the purpose there in the beddings?
Siguro disinfectant food, sir.
Yes, number 1, it controls bad bacteria. What else? What else? Salt. It also controls
Baho.
ammonia built up. Where does the ammonia comes from?
Sige.
from the
urine
of the pigs.
pigs.
Please increase na lang from 6 liter to 10 liters of seawater
Seawater.
for 1 kilo salt. That's better.
Layo man tag Inagusan, sir, we are far from sea.
Eh di
From
salt
the
na
sea.
lang.
Salt na lang.
Salt na lang.
Okay? Now,
1 kilo.
Now, so that's the purpose of the salt. Okay, to reduce ammonia build-up. What is the ammonia build-up? What is that connection to the pigs? Ammonia or animals?
Smell.
Yeah, what does
It's a
it
gas,
affect?
sir.
Fumes.
It affects the lungs.
The lungs and the...
Ammonia affects the lungs. See? So we reduce all the problems on the beddings. Prevention is better than cure. You prevent, there is no curing. Now,
You don't need to put logs.
huh?
Logs.
Later on. Then, soil. What are, where does the soil come from?
The one you took
From
out.
the 1 meter that you dig out. So, yun na yung soil mo. Okay.
Yan na. Hindi yung soil sa sapa.
The soil that you dig out from the bedding.
Balik
Okay.
na balik. Balik.
Hindi naman lahat mabalik, kaya 5 sako lang. Okay, then, sawdust. Now, crucial here is the sawdust. Sawdust is important. There's no replacement. Now, but, first of all, what kind of sawdust? Okay. The sawdust, number 1, should be coarse. Coarse sawdust, not fine sawdust. Now, if you have only few coarse sawdust and many fine sawdust, you can mix.
What's the difference?
Yung
Okay.
sa bansukan, sir, hindi yan.
The
That's
coarse
fine.
is the plainer sawdust.
Okay.
The planers.
The fine is the banso
Ah.
sawdust. The fine.
Oh,
Sawdust.
oh, it's like
The coarse is the cheap sawdust.
Okay, all right. So the one that it's like powder, small.
The circular saw.
Okay, that one is the okay,
fine.
Fine, okay.
Okay. Now, why should it be chips, not fine? Because fine is compact. Chips is arrayed. Now, why should the beddings be arrayed? To absorb more
Water.
liquid,
Liquid.
urine of the pigs. Remember, we have to keep the beddings dry. Clear? Clear? So that when the pigs urinate, those water will go deep to the beddings, not stay on top. And sawdust can absorb a lot of liquid when it is chips.
Sir, mag-isod ni panguntaan.
I will go to that later. Now, as much as possible, you should have that. So try to look who had those sawdust. You keep on howling and reserve it in your farm until such a time you are going to start your piggery. So initially, find the materials first before you start the piggery. Okay, now, for 1 meter deep sawdust, wow, you need a lot. You need a lot. So I will try to reduce it, the sawdust requirement. I will try to reduce it so that you only need a few, not a lot. Okay. For 1 meter deep, 1/3 below, pinakaiubos na 1/3 meters, You can put logs, what he said, logs. O mga sanga-sanga ng kahoy. Oh, so you have many falcata, so you have a lot of branches. So you just take out the branches. So the branches you can put it below with the leaves, no problem.
1/3, sir.
1/3 below. Now, when you put in the logs, remember to spray the IMO2. When you put in the logs, remember to just buhos, drench with IMO2. The whole 1/3. Okay? So that will be your 1/3. Or even if you have many coconut in your farm,
Ay, yung
the husk,
okay.
you chop it into smaller size, like the orchids na husk. It cannot be the whole one. Dangerous. Many pigs will die if it's the whole one. So you have to chop it small size. Then you can do that on the 1/3. You can do that also. Either logs or coconut husk. It can be mixed.
So you just chop it, right?
Chop it into smaller size.
Okay.
Okay? So that will be the 1/3. So it can, the logs and
Bunot, husk.
husk can be mixed if you want. Okay? But remember to drench the IMO2. Okay? Okay. Now the next middle 1/3. The next middle 1/3. The next middle 1/3 you can put in the coco coir dust. Coco coir dust. What is that?
Kanang mag-process
The
ng
husk.
cocoa.
The husk. Many people are buying the husk, and they bring it to their factory. And what they do, they have a machine to get the fiber of that husk. But at the back of the factory, there are mountain full of coco coir dust. Where does it come from? From the husk.
From the husk.
These are dust. These are dust.
Dagan man na.
The whole husk, 60% is the coir dust. Only 40% is the fiber. So you will see a mountain full of coco coir dust. A lot of places here in the Philippines. I don't think you have that in Africa.
We have.
Sir,
You have?
sir.
No, not in a lot of
replace
places,
for-
but
in replacement for coconut dust, because in Abusan, sir, it's very far. Coco coir machine, far from our place. So for replacement, kind of,
I would suggest that you still get coco coir dust. Then you can mix it with rice hull.
ah,
You cannot have pure rice hull. Hindi pwede pure rice hull. So you just mix it with rice hull. Later on, I'll tell you why dangerous ang rice hull. Okay?
what other uses can you use for the cocoa dust?
For the soil. Mix it with the soil so that the soil will aerate.
I mean, apart from piggery, is there any other use for cocoa dust in the farm?
Yeah,
rice hull.
the soil. The
Oh.
soil of your vegetable.
Oh, okay. As mulch?
You can mix it with the soil
All right.
to aerate your soil.
All right.
I will cite our demo in a
Or
previous demo.
you can use it for mulching also.
Mulching, okay.
I've already experienced using sawdust from trees in the buildings of our Korean Technologies wine demo here. And there is a bagat. And I found it okay, sir. We raised 5 heads of fattened pigs. Then I have able to sold it. But we are using sawdust from trees from Davao because it's hard to find cuckoo dust in our own place.
Yeah, whichever is available. Whatever varieties of trees can be used, even mahogany, even gemelina.
Even Melina, sir.
Yes.
It's toxic man,
No,
sir.
no.
Kahilo mo na.
Dili na, dili na.
Trust me, we're using it here. Because here, we had banana industry, right? And
Yes.
banana, when you want to export the banana, you need pellets. You need pellets. So they buy the wood, they sawmill it into pellets. Paleta para sa export ng banana. So those are made of gemelina and mahogany. So we had many sodas of gemelina and mahogany, and that is what we use for our piggery here in Davao.
Pwede lagi eh.
Pwede ra.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, pwede ra di ay kay dili wala man.
Remember, you put microbes into it.
Panit ra siguro ba yan?
Ha?
Panit.
Can you use the sawdust
Pagbanso,
for
ano,
neem
palita
tree?
na.
Palita.
Kasi
Neem
ba
tree.
rito wala ang sodas
Banso.
na to.
Wala.
Kay paing man to. Kato mang
Palita siguro.
cleaner na mga kuko. Dili man to
Pwede sa
may.
sinso.
Ay, yung sa senso, sir.
Pwede rin, pero fine yun.
Very fine.
Fine, malaki yun sa kaysa ano, sa
Kaysa banso.
Yeah.
Oo, pwede. Pero mas gwapo ang chips.
Butang planer lagi.
Kana sa cleaner
Cleaner.
kay dagko man siya.
Now,
Tubig ko sa malapak.
remember, ang purpose ng mas buhaghag ang beddings para mas grabe mo absorb ng
absorb ng
liquid.
water.
Kung mas pino, mas minus ang penetration. Now, ang buhaton is mix. Yung chips and fine, pwede mo i-mix.
lagi mix, lagi dili gito.
I-mix, hindi pure.
Can you use neem tree sawdust?
Yes. Yes, any kind of tree sawdust can be used. All kinds.
Because it says they say neem tree is very bitter, and so most of microbes they hate that type of. They can't stand it.
Microbes can stand anything.
Coconut
Oh.
sawdust.
Remember, the neem tree will not survive without microbes. Neem tree will not survive without microbes.
Because most of the people who build their houses, like the wood, they will use neem tree because they say that the
Termites
termites they
will
don't
not eat. Yeah. Right, for the termites.
Yeah, okay.
For the termites. Klaro ba? So, what is available in the area, yun ang gamitin. Okay? Okay, kung daghan mo palkata, siyempre may magche-chenso man dyan ang palkata. So, yung chenso, pwede man gamitin yun. Pero, pino man na.
Pino man kayo.
So, kailangan meron kang chips na pwede ihalo.
Dili pa na pino sir, nang sirin sa
Chinso.
Oh,
Kanang sa rin sa pagtata pag
Chinso?
chinso nimo.
Dagko eh.
dili
Pagbanso?
Kataas.
Oh, di
Hindi,
ko
mas
kayo, no?
dako sa banso.
Sa banso dako-dako man, sir.
Hindi, sa
Pino ang
chenso
banso.
mas dako
Mas dako kaysa
sa banso.
pino ang banso.
Oh.
Fine gid kayo ang banso.
Oh.
Fine dito.
Pero hindi pa rin dako kayo yun sa chenso. Hindi pa rin dako kayo.
Dako ang yung sa planer.
Kada ko.
Dako dyan ang planer, yung
Dako.
chips.
So kung magulat mi sa imo do, kano sa aka magpanday, kano sa aka mag-cleaner.
Dagko ang sa planer pero nigpis siya. Out kuan ba lang pa pero nigpis siya.
Yes, yes.
Unless sa chinso nga baga,
Tatas.
Oo. Labig bagong imong ipon, bago imong kuan kaning kadina. Nagko kay siya og kuan mas baga pa siya, mas thicker than
Di ay?
Planer, yes.
Tag-as.
Okay.
Yung planer
Tag-as,
is so...
Experience mo na sa kailangan na sinso.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh.
Okay, so, pwede na. Katong chenso.
Oh, mas kuha ng chinso, mas baga ang chinso.
Pero katong sa slice.
Oh, slicer nga. Abi, even, katong kuan, katong
Sa slice no.
pang, cutter, okay ka gihapon.
Dagko man tong
Kita ko
cutter
man to
yapon.
kayong cutter, mamantoy mo larab siya sa kuan.
Sige, sige, sige. Pwede na, pwede na.
Force lang.
Kana noon murag di kay ko magproblema. Unsaon ako himo na.
Now, remember, start collecting now.
Okay.
Start collecting. When you have plenty, that's the time you start. I'll tell you how many you need.
Sige, sige.
Okay, now, so on top, the 1/3 top, it should be sawdust. So, but sawdust you can also mix with cocoa coir dust. Now, there is caution on cocoa coir dust. What is the caution? This is the caution. When you get the cocoa coir dust, there are still fiber. May fiber pa yon, mga maikli na fiber. You should take it out. Because if you don't take out those fiber, nako, detrimental to the pigs. If the pigs eat a lot of those fiber, you will see they will die. Because they will block the intestine. Hindi matunaw yung fiber, it will not digest. So it will block your intestine and the food cannot go in. Then you will have LBM on the pigs and they will be thin and sick, die. Clear? So here to take out the fiber. Now, how to take out the fiber? Very simple. You pile the cocoa coir dust. You just do like this. Because the fiber will just stick to one another. So the fiber will be on top. So then when the fiber are on top, you just do like this because there are still dust. Then take out the fiber. Then the fiber, you can put it in your vegetable beddings. It can be for mulching or mix it with the soil. See? No waste. Everything, throw it back to the soil. Throw it back to your environment. Okay?
So you mix the cocoa dust to get the fiber.
Okay.
The cocoa dust, you mix it to get the fiber.
Yes. You do it this way. Then the fiber will just stick to one another.
Where? On top or on the
Yes,
bottom?
they will just, when you do this, the fiber will just come up.
Oh.
You just do it. You'll know. Clear? Remember, you have to take out the fiber. Fiber is detrimental to the health. Okay? Okay. Now, so again, on top should be sawdust with mixed cocoa coir dust so that you will have less requirement on your sawdust. Clear? But it should be on top. Okay. Now, once you mix all these things, that beddings will last you for 10 years without changing. But you have to keep on adding. See, it will compact
Okay,
because they are soft.
Mag-ana man gina siya ka kuan.
Yeah, magde-decompose, magko-compact. Siyempre, mo dako ang baboy, mo lakaw, siyempre, makompact. So you have to keep on adding to maintain the 1 meter deep.
Kinahanglan na kay reserba daan sa imong mga materials.
So you have to have reserve.
So, from your experience, how often do you add?
If the pigs start to grow big, then eventually it will compact the beddings. Then you have to add.
Sa
It's
amin, sir,
occasionally.
And the size of the...
sir, sa
Okay.
amin ay kinukuha namin yung nakumpak na at pinupulverize namin at ilagay namin as abono.
Fertilizer.
O at
We'll go to that.
kami ng
We'll go to
bago.
that. We'll go to that. But if you have many sodas,
We have many
after
sodas
2
there.
years, you can change the whole beddings and
Ah.
everything becomes your IMO 5.
Yeah. Oo, IMO5.
Yung soda sa top, sir, yung fina or mix gihapon?
Mix.
Ah.
It should be chips. Kailangan buhaghag.
Yeah.
Remember, the key here is buhaghag. Klaro ba? Okay. Now, where am I?
Oh, sakto, sir.
Okay.
1/3 cup.
Okay. Now, the size, okay. The size per pig, ang requirement is, regularly is 1.5 allocation per pig.
Per pig?
What is
1.5?
meant by 1.5?
Square meter.
1.5 square meter.
Pig pin size, sir.
Wait a minute. Ang requirement is 1.5 square meter per pig.
Square.
But I will give 2 square meter.
To yun yan.
But I will give 2 square meter per pig. I will allocate 2 square meter per pig, not 1.5. Okay? So for example, you have a housing of 5 by 6 meters of housing for the pigs. So the 5 by 6 is 30 square meter. So if it's 2 square meter, it means you have 15 heads. If 1.5 square meter, it means you have 20 heads. So that's the population. Okay, now, the beddings for 5 by 6 meters, the 1 meter deep, you need 500 sacks of sawdust. If it's all the way through, na sawdust,
5 by
5 by 6,
500 pig, you know.
500 sacks.
For
By
one,
6
para lang yun.
housing.
500 sacks, 1 meter deep. Okay, now, but you reduce it already. You have 1/3 logs. You have the second layer of dust. Then only the top with sawdust, but you still mix. You can mix still cocoa dust, or you can mix some banso.
Banso, kanto na eh.
So you reduce the chips.
Ang mixing, ano sir?
50-50.
50-50. Okay.
So now it reduces to less than 100 sacks.
500.
So, but you should have more than 100 sacks of sawdust.
Pero kanto lagi tanan sawdust tanan is 500 yun. Katong 5
Kung,
by 30.
kung 1 meter deep, puro sawdust.
Pero bili lang nimo paabton og 15 heads imong baboy, mga 10 lang. So mo rin sa kas kadakon sa imong bangag.
Okay? Okay, now ibig sabihin magpundo ka jud ng sawdust bago ka mag-umpisa.
Oh, sakto yan.
Okay?
Pwede yan. Dalhin di ay.
Okay. Now from my thinking here, no problem for you guys because you have lugs. When there is lugs, there is sawdust.
Sawdust.
Simple as that.
Yes.
If, for example, farcata has a lot of branches, you take out the branches, you shred it, that's your sawdust. So you need to acquire a shredding machine.
Yes.
Pero mapino man ka ng threading.
Yes, hindi. Chips. Chips. It will be chips.
Chips is okay.
Huh?
Chips, wood chips is okay.
That's the good one.
Oh.
That is the best one for the piggery, for the clear. Clear.
Clear.
Okay. Now, then after that, after mixing the whole beddings, then you can let the pigs comes in. Okay. Now what you do, once a week, you just spray IMO2 on top. for 1 month. Again, you spray IMO2 dilution, the water, the diluted IMO2, you just spray it on top. Just spray it on top. Even the pigs are there, just spray it. For once a week, for 1 month. Then after that, no more. So you only repeat when there is problem. What kind of problem? When there is foul smell of the manure. When there is foul smell of the manure. Seldom it happens. Seldom this happens. Majority of the foul odors will be from the urine rather than the manure. So when it is the urine, the ammonia, then put salt on that area where it's too wet. Put salt because that's where the urine are located to reduce the ammonia build-up. Any question? Any question?
You spread dissolved salt or just salt like that? Dissolved salt. Eh?
No. Just salt. Just throw it there. It will be mixed with that wetty portion. It will just be mixed.
Or you can use sea water.
For this one, I better use the salt. Because it's wet already. If you do sea salt, it will be more wet.
And if the pig eat the salt that you
No problem.
It's a mineral. It's a supplement.
Yes.
Mineral supplement for the pig.
Animals eat salt.
Salt.
Animals should be
Sir
given
Hamon,
salt.
you
Even
can do
our
business from piggery.
Not allowed to eat pig.
You are not allowed. But
Yes.
here in the Philippines, there are many Muslims who engage piggery business, sir. They don't eat, but they can sell it.
They are crazy.
They are crazy.
there are nominal Muslim like nominal Christian.
Because there are Muslims, we
Yeah, I know.
training in Marawi.
I know.
There are Muslims who engage in piggery business.
There are nominal. The real Muslim even cannot touch. They can look,
They can look.
but they cannot touch. Alright, okay. Now, so that's the beddings. That's the maintenance of the beddings. Again, that will last you for 10 years if you don't want to use it. But if you want to use it, if you have many sodas, so what you do is this. You can have the fattening there. So when the pigs are big already, so there will be big amount of manure. Right?
Yeah.
So that portion that the pigs have their toilet, you know, pigs, they are very disciplined. They don't do their thing all throughout the beddings. There is a portion on the housing where they do the manure, where they do the urination. Not the whole beddings, they don't do it. So that portion where they do the manure, they do the urinating, you get that portion and you can put that in your beddings, in your vegetable beddings, mix it with the soil. See? Then you replace again with the sawdust on that portion. Clear? Clear? Now, if you or you don't get them, let them be until after around 2 years. You can harvest the whole top, probably 1/3 the whole top. Then that will be your fertilizer, IMO5.
Sa amin, sir, yung one of my farmer there, they mix the feces, the fecal sample of the swine in their feedings. And then spray IMO.
Yes, yes. Yes, then you can do that, but it's too laborious. Too laborious. Now, he was asking if can be rice hull. No. Why?
Why is it, sir?
Rice hull, when it decomposes, it becomes silica.
Silica.
And silica is detrimental to the health of the pigs.
Ah.
Now, many piggery in the Philippines, because when I start teaching this, I started teaching the piggery in the Philippines. The natural farming, I started it. No one started that. Throughout the country, I started natural farming piggery. Now, during that time, because there is really scarce on sawdust, so I teach rice hull. Then I learned that rice hull is not so good. Number one, it's stick, it's katol, it's what?
In English,
Itchy.
It's,
Rice hull is itchy because of the bacteria there, the insects there. Number two, rice hull is sharp, so it's uneasy for the pigs to stay. Okay, so I try to change to the reality which the Korean teach us sawdust. When I asked Dr. Cho, why is it that rice hull, is it possible to use rice hull, when he taught me that it cannot be, so I tried to correct it in the market, those who are doing piggery. So, but the problem is, they said, oh, anyway, after 1 year we change it. We change the whole beddings. So you are going to incur a lot of labor costs and howling of rice hull, which they sometimes had to buy already. In some part of the Philippines, they buy rice hull already. It's not free. So you have to howl, you have to buy, and you have to have labor to mix. So it will incur a lot of monetary problems. See? So it's okay if it's 1 year, you change everything, it's alright, because the rice hull will not decompose in 1 year time.
Yung rice hull,
Longer. Probably 2 years, 3 years.
May na lang na-carbonize.
So anyway, hindi rin pwede carbonize sa bedding.
Dili yun. Pang ano lang yan. Sa plants.
So to me, why go to those things when you can have the real thing without changing it for 10 years, which is good. Less labor. Am I right?
Sige lang, add na lang.
So anyway, when you add sawdust to the beddings, you have to have the ratio of the salt also mixing, but you don't need the soil already because the soil will be in the beddings. Kasi nagde-decompose. So yung mga sawdust, when they decompose, they become soil. You just mix it.
wala na ito eh.
So it will be sawdust, salt with IMO2, and when you mix it, there is the soil in the beddings.
The second time you change the bedding, sir?
No, when you keep on adding.
When you keep on adding.
So you also add salt again?
Yes.
The same dimension, the same
For example, if it's 10 sacks, then the salt is 1 kilo. So if you just add 5 sacks, then the salt will be half kilo. Okay?
So pwede na, no more soil na, sir.
Soil is in the bedding.
Ay, in the beddings na.
So when you are mixing the beddings, you are mixing the soil already. So you just add the IMO2.
This is the period when the pigs are getting bigger.
Yes, if you want to get the manure of the beddings. Okay? Any question?
So how does the where they do their things, you know, on one side, how does it get decomposed if every time they have to go there and do it?
Okay?
You said there's one area, that's where they go and do their thing.
Yeah.
If all the time, because when they do it and they urinate, it's going to be wet all the time. Will that smell?
No. No. Remember when you do a lot of chips, then the absorption of the urine is very strong. So it will not be wet. Look. A while ago I show you the pigs. It's not wet, the bedding. It's not wet. Even the portion that they keep on urinating and
Well, it
putting
doesn't
in
smell
manure.
that area, that small portion will not smell.
No, because when the manure comes down, immediately the microbes penetrate. And when you give them the right food, their digestive system is good. When the manure comes out, there's less smell.
So also, yeah, the manure already has microbes in there. Okay.
So when the manure comes out, less smell. So when the manure fall, the microbes penetrate, 100% no smell. Clear? Any question? Any question? Okay? Okay, so that's the bedding. So this is the whole structure. Now, again, the beddings is 1 meter deep. Now, do not reduce that 1 meter deep. The reduction can be 90 centimeters. Pwedeng 90 centimeters. But not less than 90 centimeters. I have a friend who do half meter. Now, he had a problem. Too wet for half meter.
So the ano sir, sa ano siya, the more na mas lalo.
O, kasi you want the absorption of the liquid so perfect that you need that deep.
The deeper it is, the better.
So don't try to make it smaller than 90 centimeters. Okay? Minimum 90 centimeters. So don't do the 1 meter because you'll add, so do the 90 centimeters. Okay? Okay. Any question? Any question? And with the sun, and with the wind, dry. The whole bedding should be dry. Okay? Now, okay.
Napuno na ni mo? Nag-zero na ba? Yeah, nakatanan ko na natatmarang siya. Mag-zero. Dili alam po na ano. Kapit na moron. Ha? Hindi na po.
Pugihan din manuat, ay wa mapuno. Akong utok mapuno na. Kapit na magbuwas mata. Gamay lang tayo. Memory card.
Okay, I'll show you this. Look.
Hindi ka na,
Si Panit, ako yung hangin niya.
Okay, this is, we add this in the Philippines. Korea technology don't have this. Again, Korea technology do not have this. In the Philippines, we add this. So in Africa, you have to add this also. Why? Because of too extreme hot weather. Because of too extreme hot weather.
Malipayong kayo sila, oh.
Again, listen. In the Philippines, because it is too extreme hot weather, we have to have this. I call this pan. Pan. Not swimming pool.
Pero simentado na na, sir.
Yes. I call this pan, not swimming pool. Huh? Now, it means that the water, the pan is just around maximum, pinaka-maximum na yan, 8 inches. Okay? The water from 4 inches to 6 inches.
Kinahanglan ko na ang case of play, so big na natin.
No. Small amount only. Now, this is quite big. This is quite big. This pan is quite big for them. Even 1/3 or 1/4 of this pan can be for them already. You don't need to have big pan because the purpose, the purpose of this pan is to cool down their temperature.
Yes, sir.
The temperature of the pigs is the same as human temperature. Okay? So when the weather is hot, their temperature rises. And in this time, it will affect their health. So you have to put it down. So with this pan, the temperature will go down. Okay? To its normal temperature. So we need this in the Philippines. Korea don't need this. So we add this. So we contextualize it into the Philippine setting.
Pero sir, naya ako makita na problema na kinanay naghimog ingon ana. Iya lang ganitong kuan lang to, design lang to niya para inanan. Pero ang mga baboy adto sila malibang ug mangihi na hinoon.
Yes, eventually here they urinate, they manure. We'll go to that. Clear? Now, in this housing, you will see
Anton lang ito sa usapan ni
in this housing, you will see that this pan is separated from the housing. There's a fence. So there is only a door where they go in and out. You cannot have this whole pan directly going to their housing because it will wet. Their housing will be too wet. Klaro ba? You cannot let the housing becomes too wet. See? Only a door. Only a door. Open. Clear? Okay. Now. Okay, Melinda time.
Malimbayon tayo sila. Sila swimming pool.
Okay, we'll have our Mirindas then we'll come back.